Hey there, and welcome back to another episode of Be Encouraged Moments. Today, we're going to be talking about chaos.
Oh yes, here we go.
And I felt that in order to really get in the spirit of this, that I would not plan in any way, shape, or form to create complete chaos.
You're going to love this one. I can't wait to see how this turns out.
And I'm going to go into why we're talking about chaos. But first, I want you all to stop and think for a second. Do you ever feel chaotic? Do you feel like you're either living in chaos or that you're just everything you think is just chaotic, you know? I'm sure the answer is a resounding yes for all of you. Mm-hmm. We all have this moment where we feel completely like everything is in disorder and we're confused and there's confusion around us. We've all been there, whether it's with our kids, whether it's with our spouses, our house, whatever the case may be. I think chaos is a very normal thing, but it's also a very hard thing to get through, or at least it is for me. The reason I'm talking about chaos at this particular moment is because I'm in the process of a move, and to say it has been chaos is an understatement. I chose not to take time off work, really. I took like a day. And so I'm surrounded by boxes. Half of my house is in one house. The other half of my house is in another house. I'm downsizing, which means I don't have room for some of the things I had before. So now I'm trying to get rid of those things, I'm trying to put my other house on the market. It's a whole thing. And to put icing on the cake, things at work are a little chaotic right now too. We've got a lot of things happening here.
Except for right now.
Yeah, except for right now. This is peace for me. This is an opportunity. So when I was trying to decide what to talk about today, I went through a lot of different topics, but I ultimately decided that this was the one I had to talk about. So I'm talking to myself as much as I'm talking to all of you. I thought that it was really interesting though, because after we moved into the new place, Marley wanted me to read to her, and she had left the chapter book that we had been reading together every night at school. So she chose one of her picture books from when she was a kid. And the one that she picked out cracked me up because not so much the storyline, but the pictures. And so I have to share it with all of you today. There's a series called, it's called Bruce, Mother Bruce. They are the most adorable books. I'm not necessarily endorsing these because they're ours or anything like that, but I am endorsing them in the fact that I just think they're incredibly cute. We have 3 of these in this series, and there's several out there. In the first book, we learn that Bruce, who's the bear, somehow becomes the mother of these geese, which is just funny in and of itself. And so you can just imagine the chaos that ensues with a bear raising 3 geese. In the second book, Hotel Bruce, they go south for hibernation, and when they come back, he discovers that a bunch of field mice have turned his house into a hotel. And so chaos ensues. And again, you have to try and think of like, Bruce portrays a typical bear personality and like, you know, and so throughout the whole book, he's just like, but the geese are constantly trying to be like, oh, it's fun, you know, and so whatever. I really, really love the books, but I wanted to show these to you because again, just imagine a bear who has not hibernated, so is already super moody, comes back to his house, and his house is now full of hotel residents. Chaos ensues.
I love that.
It's just a mess everywhere. My other favorite one is the kitchen. The fox decides he's going to make turtle soup, but he makes it with live turtles, so the turtles strike a revolt, leaving the kitchen in complete chaos. This is what my house feels like right now. It may not actually look like this. So I want to talk about chaos because again, as I said at the beginning, this is something that we all deal with, that we all face. And I think it's really important to own the fact that this is a normal thing and that it is going to happen and that you're going to get through it. We all get through it. I know right now I'm in the midst of it and I find myself just laughing at things. I was telling Jan something this morning that, you know, I'm getting ready to do my taxes and I can't find any of my documents to do my taxes. And, you know, And I just laugh about it. And I think that's really what I want to bring to you today, is to find that level of peace in chaos, to where you can kind of just laugh about the chaos itself. Because if you really think about it, it is comical. Turtles striking a revolt in your kitchen is funny. I know that's not really going to happen in your house, but there are scenarios. So like, I also have a new puppy in my life, because I thought it was a good idea to get a 12-week-old puppy while I'm in the midst of a move.
Yes.
So I have that added to it, in addition to all the things that go along with being a mother. You know, I have to get to her to all of her things, and I just have to laugh. Like, it's just funny. I mean, the things that are happening right now, again, living in boxes, so the dog finds everything. It's a playground for her right now. She pulls everything out. I find things in the weirdest of places. And it's funny. And I want to encourage all of you to remember that the chaos will pass, and that in order to get through the chaos, you have to find some humor in it as well, which ultimately in the book, Bruce, in the chaos, he ends up losing his temper. He ends up yelling at everyone and throwing everyone out of the house. The mice who started the hotel, he kicks them out into the rain. But when it was all said and done, he felt bad, and he brought them all back into the house to have dinner and to stay dry. And I think that's the important thing. When we're facing chaos, you have to find those things that will get you through to the other side. And you have to remember that your chaos is not a direct reflection of what everybody else is experiencing in your life. For example, my daughter is loving this move. She is so happy right now. She could care less that there's a stack of boxes in her room. It doesn't mean anything to her. And that's something that you really have to grab a hold of, is that the way you perceive it may not be the way that your loved ones perceive it. And are we gonna lose our cool during it? Yeah, probably. But they're gonna be there for us, and they're gonna get through the chaos with us as well.
And you know, the scripture, I have to throw a scripture out because it's so true. The peace that passes all our understanding. And right now, sometimes our understanding is chaos. So if you put those words in, the peace of God that passes all of our chaos, that puts things into perspective. Yeah, you can get through this. Laughter is a great way to get through this. And you have to find the humor in things. And I think that's what God would want us to do.
Well, and when you bring the scriptures to the forefront, that is such a great piece to always remember. When you're going through chaos, God is right in the middle of all of it with you. He sees it.
Yes.
He's feeling it too. And while he may not always answer all of those prayers, because sometimes, you know, he doesn't always do things on the timetable that we expect. And I know we've done YouTube videos on that as well. But he is working. He is working in your life, and he's the one who's going to bring you that level of peace and that ability to laugh things off. Yep. So take that moment to have a prayer. Take that moment to sit with your scriptures. Absolutely. I'm not as good as coming up with the scriptures off the top of my head. I know them. I live in them. I do them all the time, but I just don't have that memory capability. And we've done YouTube videos about that as well. Because I'm living in this moment of absolute chaos, and Jan's been hearing about it pretty much every day. She even came and visited the chaos one day.
I bought lunch because I knew she probably didn't have anything.
It's just that I felt like it was so appropriate to bring it to all of you. So like I said, this video is as much about reminding myself as it is about anything else. And like I said, I felt like preparing this would not demonstrate the chaos, which I think Jan was like, but we got through it. And I think that, again, that's a demonstration of we always get through the chaos, and we always find those things that help us get through the chaos. So if you're in the thick of it right now, know that you're going to come through the other side, and know that you're not the only one, because I'm over here pulling my hair out too. So I just want to remind you to be encouraged. Know that the chaos is going to pass, that things are going to be sunny again, and that you're not alone in the midst of that chaos. You have people around you that are either experiencing the same chaos or are willing to walk hand in hand with the chaos with you, like Jan is for me. You also have God right there in it with you. He knows. He does know. And he's going to be there on the other side as well, in it with you. So just be encouraged today and know that the chaos will pass. Thank you, as always, for joining us for our Be Encouraged moment.